Hi there. Welcome to Gardening 2022, episode 26, which is the last episode of the year. Might take a couple weeks to make this episode, I'm not sure. But it is going to be the episode where I convert everything from summer, fall to fall, winter. I think the tomatoes are going to go. I think the loofahs are going to go, except for maybe a couple loofahs that are still growing a loofah, but the rest of all these vines that are growing everywhere are going to go. I think that we will deal with the peppers. I think we'll check in on the fall stuff like the snow peas and the cucumbers and the bok choy, and I think we're going to harvest the summer carrots and summer lettuce, and we're going to plant some wheat. I just organized the garage. I feel really good about that. We need to make some shredded cardboard mulch for the broccoli I planted a couple weeks ago. We'll check in on that stuff, maybe get a couple more planted. I think I got 4 or 5 viable more in the seed tray. Yeah, so lots to do. Might take a week or two to get all this into one video, and I will say goodbye to 2022 gardening. Obviously, I'll still be doing some harvesting, hopefully in the fall. We will see. Maybe I'll make another video. I don't know, but I'm assuming we are nearing the end. All right, well, we got a ton of peppers out of that, a ton of shishitos, a bunch of Johnny's red flames, and some banana peppers. And the second week in a row, we have pulled back on the pepper plants. These are the shishito peppers and the jalapeno peppers. I've given this a lot of thought, and what we're gonna do, it's a little bit frustrating because I wanted to use this bed in the winter for wheat. I'm also concerned about how far down the bed is sunk. Look at that, it's a good 6 inches. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and overwinter those 2 plants in here, the jalapeno and the shishito. They were beasts. I had 3 jalapeno plants there. Most of it was coming, or 3 shishito plants. Most of it was coming off that one. I tried overwintering once before and I failed. I watched an overwintering video. They said if you're in a cold climate, put them in the garage. I put them in the garage. I didn't water them and they just died. So I'm going to try them outside because I want to know if that's going to work or not. If it does work, I will transplant them next year. But I'm going to leave them in this bed all winter. I'm going to remulch the bed. There was mulch on that when I planted it. It's pretty crazy. It's just gone. It is almost fully decomposed. And we're going to see what happens. So this bed, I'm nervous, and I have doubts. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it all winter just to see if those 2 plants overwinter. Then we have this bell pepper plant. We've got one giant bell pepper right there, and it still doesn't turn red, and I'm really bummed. And I don't know if it's going to. But really, more to the point is there's just a million little ones on here. This one seems to be getting eaten, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, man. We had a frost last night, and I'm like confused. Oh, there's a giant jalapeno. I need to pull that. I don't know. There's a frost last night, but everything seems like it's okay. So I'm just gonna let it go. We're not scheduled to have any more frost for another 10 days. So let's see if I can't get these bell peppers off of here. Hello. The watermelon just died. Did it last weekend. Out of the blue, overnight, and there wasn't a freeze, and I'm stunned and I don't know why. I had luckily cut a watermelon off. Maybe that's what did it. It was like, well, I've given up my watermelon. But I hadn't cut them all off. Now they're just dropping, these ones that aren't fully grown. And I think animals are getting them. But I did get 2, and they were good. But I don't know why it just died. It's crazy. It's crazy. carrot greens, carrot tops for composting, and the carrots. So what I've learned once again is I need to be relentless on thinning. I'm terrible about it. This carrot, which is huge, was growing all by itself in the celery section. None of my celery grew. There was one plant there. I thought it was one successful celery. It was in fact one carrot getting all the space it actually needs. So this is the best carrot harvest I've ever done, but what it tells me is I need to thin more, and I hate thinning. I'm a sensitive soul, man. It's emotional. But I'm going to switch to pelleted carrot seeds from here on out. That will really help. I will just plant them spaced instead of what I do now and sprinkle them in rows. So hopefully next time that will be better. Over there, I'm planting the last of my carrot seeds that are not pelleted. So the number one thing I want to do this week is get the wheat planted. And it is going in this bed, this malformed, horrible bed where these metal poles should have been deep in the dirt, and someday I will fix it, but not today. Maybe when the wheat is harvested, I'll dig this bed out. I don't know, it's gonna be so much work. And it works, so whatever. But yes, we're gonna refresh this bed, pull up the irrigation, put new soil on top, plant some wheat, mulch it, water it. That is what we are doing now. One of the grow bag potatoes has finally started to sprout there. The other one has not. I think I have my answer though, because look at this, the in-ground potato is doing great. I could have sworn I planted two. I'll have to go check the other video, but that one's manifestly doing better. So in-ground right here, maybe not here. This might be bad range. Probably right there. Next year, potatoes, right there. Winter lettuce doing good. Winter carrots just a little bit, starting to sprout. Spinach, that's not carrots, this is lettuce. Napa cabbage, salad bowl, ice cream, that's all lettuce. This is spinach, so the spinach is just starting to sprout. Over here we have beets starting to sprout. Radishes, of course, go very fast, so there's actually, I should thin real quick. Here are the carrots, winter carrots. I will thin relentlessly at some point. And here are the winter beets. Probably should thin. Okay, planted last week, newly mulched. Planted last week, newly mulched. Nice potter of weeds. Kind of just let that grow. Maybe the weeds will turn into something amazing. Same with that one. Here we have the new ones. 2, 4, 6, 7. Broccoli and cauliflower. I mixed up the labels. I don't know which is which is why I planted more than I should. Almost 2 weeks late. I doubt I'll get anything. I did the seeds and left them in the trays too long. This isn't gonna work. But I had the dirt, I had the pots, I had the plants. I'm gonna give it a shot. Maybe we'll have an unseasonably warm winter. Wheat's done, brassica's done, beets, carrots, greens, all done. Over there, garlic, bok choy, done. Everything is into the ground. This blueberry bush needs to go into the ground. It's gonna go right there. So it doesn't interfere with when I someday put a grape arbor up above this. I got some guys working on an estimate. Wildflowers. Somebody's eating the stems off of them, so not the greatest thing, but I am getting wildflowers. Look at that. So I got a little time. I'm gonna try and plant this blueberry bush in the ground. Our soil is very clay-like, so in addition to the fruit tree fertilizer, I added some garden gypsum and to break up the clay, and I added some soil acidifier for blueberries. So I know you're supposed to plant these things in your native soil and you're not supposed to help them because then they get used to that and then they don't like your soil, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I did it. Hopefully this will last. Let's check in on the other trees that we planted. It's been about a month since I did the apple trees and they are doing really well. This one's happy and this one's happy. So feel good about that. This one's had a lot of growth actually. But yeah, good about the apple trees. Here are my wife's amazing Halloween decorations. She's decorated our apple tree. Apple tree doing really well. Unfortunately, I don't know if this pear tree is gonna make it. It looks like it's dying. That's very sad. We'll let these go till next year, but I think I might have to replace the pear trees next year. That is a bummer. I love how we have little tomatoes popping up everywhere. There's one here. Just uncovered a pretty big one here that was hiding behind that blueberry bush. So that's pretty funny. Those are 2 failed blueberries. There's a little blueberry there, so I'm gonna clean that up and let that one try again next year. This is a weed. Ugh. Yeah, it stinks. This is tomato. Yeah, it smells like tomato. That's nuts. That's just nuts. Yeah, we will let that blueberry try again next year. No sprouting on the winter garlic yet. Oh, there's one little sprout right there. So that's coming. That's coming. Fall shallots. I don't think they're gonna bulb, but they're gonna be close. I'm gonna let them go. These beets are looking good. I might actually have my Thanksgiving beets. I can see they're beating up. And this garlic actually, more sun over here, so that is sprouting a little bit more. This is snow peas and bok choy and a couple cucumbers. Snow peas are growing better than they ever have before, which is exciting. No peas, but I got a lot of plants. Bok choy needs thinning again, but I've thinned it a bunch, so I'm gonna just start picking it soon, I think. And these cucumbers, I saw a guy who was in Zone 7B and he was like, you can plant cucumbers in the fall, and I immediately planted them, but I don't think they're gonna do anything. There's a lot going on in this bed. It's too crowded. I did too much. Maybe I should thin it next week. We got a couple loofahs there. I wanted to trim this plant back this week again and just save the loofahs, but there's the third loofah right there. But I'm running out of time, so maybe next week. Every week I tell myself I'm going to take the tomato plants down, and every week they give me a few more tomatoes, including 2 Roma this week. So there's 2 big beefsteak type tomatoes still on there and hundreds of cherries. I don't see any more Roma, but I'm going to let them go one more week, I guess. And I'm going to let that loofah go one more week, which means this is probably not the last garden video. So maybe I'll see you next week. Maybe I won't. Either way, thank you for watching. Have a lovely time. See you next week or next year for more gardening. Take care.